love that.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. So I want to know, like, where have you been in the last few months? What's been going on in Kenzie's world?
Oh wow. I have been traveling a lot, but the last place I went to was Japan, which was super amazing. Everyone was super kind. The food was great, and I really want to go back.
Did you go to 7-Eleven? Because I feel like
I did.
Okay. Did you have those sandwiches?
Yep.
Tell me more, because I feel like
Oh.
everyone goes and talks so much about 7-Eleven in Japan specifically.
7-Eleven in Japan is top tier. They have, first of all, they have ice in a cup, like at 7-Eleven, which I'm like, that everyone needs that. You know what I'm saying?
Genius.
But they also had the like rice and chicken and like seaweed, and it was so good. But my favorite thing in Japan was their fluffy toast.
Fluffy
Their
toast?
toast is like this thick.
Oh my
It's so
gosh. Where else have your travels taken you?
Ooh, there's been so many places.
Do you wake up in like a new city every day and you're like, wait?
No,
Where am I?
not that. I think I went to London recently, which was I love London. I've been going to London for forever. In Canada, I was in New York, but soon I'm going home to Pittsburgh, which is like totally different from Japan and Canada.
Midwest, right?
Yeah.
I'm from the Midwest too, and it is.
Oh,
It's a
really?
different vibe. Going home is always a really grounding vibe too, especially
Yeah.
when you've been traveling to different countries. Just being around like your people, your family, like your own bed, and like the
It's
places you
exciting.
went when you were a kid.
For sure. I think it's different though because I haven't lived there since I was like 9. So when I do go home, my childhood bedroom is still standing.
Is it? Is it like
so-
a relic in time?
Yeah, it's like all purple. It's definitely a weird vibe, but it's fun to be home.
Do you ever take inspiration from like cities and travels that you've gone on for music?
I guess yeah. I mean, I always take inspiration from like my personal experiences. So I guess most of the time it's like a situation that I'm dealing with, or a breakup, or a boyfriend, or anything of that sort.
When you go home, when you're back in Pittsburgh and you're in that childhood bedroom, does it ever, do you ever have that moment of like, wow, I've come so far since being here?
For sure, for sure. I also think about what it would be like if I still lived in Pittsburgh, which would be crazy.
What do you think about that?
Um,
You're like, no, I'm good. I'm good where
I'm
I
like,
am.
yeah, I'm okay. I obviously love going home, but it is not very motivating, I guess, like going back to somewhere where there's really like nothing around you. But so that's why I love being here.
Totally. What would you say is your favorite part about going home?
I think the nature. My backyard is literally like a forest, which is like awesome. We don't have a lot of that here.
Yeah, we really don't.
No.
We have parks.
We have parks. We do have beautiful hikes and the beach, which I'm very thankful for. But I mean, yeah, there's just like a lot of trees and a lot of deer and a lot of animals, and it's relaxing.
I saw someone this past weekend meditating on the beach, but it was like
Wow.
in a very public space. Like people were just walking back and forth. And I was like, I want to get to the point where I can be so zen and so present that I can clear my mind even with like the chaos
Oh, for sure.
that's all around me. I thought that was so impressive. Do you have a space in your life that's for you, that you can go and you can kind of just like mentally lock in and just tune the world out?
I think for me, because I'm super busy all the time, it's either the beach, obviously. I live really close to the beach, which I'm very grateful for, and just my bed, honestly. Like, it's a
Same.
very comforting thing. I feel like everyone can also relate to that.
Yes.
It's like, I feel the safest in my bed.
I love that. Well, we're going to get into some music, and
Let's do
I want to let you intro this first song that you're going to be doing for us.
Yeah, so this song is called The Me I Was. It is about how I was in a relationship at the time, and I came with a lot of trust issues, and I was telling my partner at the time that I wish he could have met me before I came with all the baggage. So
Let's do it.
I'm such a mess, 'cause here in my head, keep hearing all the things he said. Don't wear that dress, do this instead, she's just a friend. Now here you are, feeling the spark, thinking, oh fuck, I hate this part. I put on my guard, you're in the dark, I know it's hard. 'Cause I built up all these walls so nobody else gets in. I know it's not your fault. This isn't how I've always been. I wish you could meet her before all the damage there was done. Wish you could have seen her. She'd do anything for anyone. She was a dreamer, a little bit sweeter. Wasn't afraid to fall in love. Wish I could still be her. The me I was. The me I was. Ah, ah, ah. The me I was. Ah, ah, ah. Stand in my shoes. What would you do if you've been through what I've been through? Heart black and blue. It was barely beating till I met you. 'Cause I built up all these walls so nobody else gets in. I know it's not your fault. This isn't how I've always been. I wish you could meet her before all the damage there was done. Wish you could have seen her. She'd do anything for anyone. She was a dreamer, a little bit sweeter. Wasn't afraid to fall in love. Wish I could still be her. The me I was. The me I was. Ah, ah, ah. The me I was. Ah, ah, ah. I wish you could meet her before all the damage there was done. Wish you could have seen her. The me I was. The me I was. Thank you.
I love that song.
Thank you.
So the title of that song, it's really reflective. It's a really reflective title. Does songwriting ever kind of help you get over experiences in your life?
Oh, 1,000%. I think that's why I songwrite, honestly. And I think that's why I talk about my personal experiences, because it is like a form of therapy, just like getting it out and being able to perform it for people. Most of these situations and these songs, like, I feel nothing towards anymore. So it's like a good feeling.
It's like you get it out of you and you can just kind of move on.
Yeah.
That's incredible. So would you say, like, in new relationships and in your future, this song has kind of helped you come into like a next level in those relationships?
Oh, for sure. 1,000%. I think I'm definitely more, like, I don't come with trust issues. I kind of just have like a blank slate and I'm like, whatever happens, happens. I think that'll do it too when you just date so many shitty men. But yeah, I think it's all good things. So.
Do you ever regret making relationships public?
Yes.
You are very public about it.
Yes. Like 1,000%.
What have you learned from past relationships?
I think sometimes in the relationships that I've been in specifically, I don't think they're all in it for the right reasons. But I also think that it's better to just keep it private, just like your life. I feel like with, Instagram or like social media is such a highlight reel, and it is so fun to post like your friends and your life. But of course, there's so many things that you don't want to put on the internet because it's for yourself.
Totally.
So I definitely, like, with my relationship now, it's public, but it's like I still try to keep it very much to myself.
Yeah, there's pieces you save just
Totally.
for each other. What is it like, though, having so many people, like, just voicing opinions on your life and on relationships, on things you do? What does that feel like?
I think I'm used to it at this point. I I mean, I grew up on social media since I was like 6 years old, so it's like second nature to me. But sometimes it can get quite annoying because I think people forget that like I am just a normal person and I have normal feelings. So I personally would never comment like certain things on people's posts because that's, a nice thing to do. But some people just are bored and want a reaction. So.
Do you ever just contemplate like deleting apps from your phone? Have you ever done that?
Oh yeah, all the time. I think with Instagram specifically, like I think it is a very toxic mindset, especially like I said, social media being such a highlight reel. Like you don't necessarily get to see the struggles as much as like the amazing things. So I like to delete it once in a while just for my mental.
What would you say is your favorite app?
Okay, this is like crazy, but I think TikTok, honestly.
Yeah.
I think
You
just
guys too?
because I learned so much on there. Like,
Same.
I think I learned more on TikTok than I did stay in school, but I learned a lot
Felt
on
though.
TikTok.
No, so felt.
Yeah, and like, yeah, I just feel like everyone is so honest and raw. Like sometimes too honest and like too, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yes,
I'm hearing crazy stories, but it's like, whoa, like we're all kind of like we all deal with this, and this is awesome. Like,
Have
I
you
feel
seen
like,
the trend with the dolphins where people are
Oh,
just
yeah,
like
my
putting-
favorite.
They are really. Has anyone done that? If you have, like, you're so bold, and I love you for that. But some people are confessing like things that
Insane.
I love the anonymity of it though too.
For sure. I think also Zara Larson, like at her concert, put the dolphins in the back, and I was like,
saw
hell yeah.
that.
Yeah.
I love that she's in on it too. Have you ever gotten like in on something that your fans have picked up on TikTok and you've like jumped in?
I mean, all of my quotes from the show that I was on, I definitely have fed into it because I was 7 years old. They definitely told me what to say. I definitely didn't come up with that on my own.
I wasn't gonna say anything, but your line about wanting to just like eat chips all day, I think that to myself probably once every couple months because truly, like that's my life's goal.
Right.
Like, if I could just stay home and eat chips all day,
It would be a dream.
heaven.
Yeah,
truly
right?
heaven.
I'm so glad you feel that too.
I do. I'm like, I really want to tell her this, but I don't know if now's the time. But
No,
you know
and
what?
that was the perfect time. So thanks.
I'm glad we feel each other. We see each other.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna get into some more music. You're gonna get into another song. Kind of. Can I just say at the beginning of the song, you do have the sound of an app. There's FaceTime at the beginning, and I love that.
Thanks.
I thought that was so much fun. Do you want to talk about this song at all?
Yeah, so this one is called Face to Face. It's been out for a little while, but I wrote this song about how at the time I was going through like a friendship breakup with one of my bestest friends, and it's so hard to communicate over the phone because I feel like, you can kind of hide behind a screen and be as mean as you want and be as crazy as you want, but when you are face to face with someone, you can be the most honest and like understand from both point of views. So that's what this song is about.
Let's do it.
Don't know how to talk to you. Echoes in an empty room. I'm lost in your frequencies. Cobwebs on the phone. Are you sitting there alone? Don't know how to talk to you. Don't wanna put words in your mouth, but if I could, I'd say sorry. It's not too late for you to say now, say now. Ooh, all this space, what a shame. How can we be so far apart, face to face? I'm getting tired. I've practiced lines. I wish you could take off your disguise. Why can't we see things eye to eye, face to face? Remnants of a stolen youth, two lies and a broken truth. I don't miss you, I don't love you, all I wanna do is talk to you. Don't wanna put words in your mouth, but if I could, I'd say sorry. It's not too late for you to say it now, say it now. Ooh, didn't mean it, but you did it, yeah, you did it. You scarred me bad. Now all this space, what a shame. How can we be so far apart, face to face? I'm getting tired of practice lines. I wish you could take off your disguise. Why can't we see things eye to eye? Oh, can we try this one more time, face to face? Thank you.
So I want to know, since there is that beginning of the song that is like a FaceTime sound, are you a texter? Are you a caller? Are you a FaceTimer normally?
I love to FaceTime. I think it's better. But I never like to call on the phone. You know? Mm-hmm. I love FaceTime or text.
Yeah. You need everything or nothing.
Yeah, exactly.
What was the reaction from this song after you put it out from the person?
I mean, people liked it. People loved it. I think I was really nervous to put the song out because it is about a certain situation, and that's always scary. But I mean, my whole album is about like people, so you kind of just have to wing it, you know?
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you ever feel like fear getting so vulnerable in your music, and how do you kind of overcome that?
Yeah, no, I definitely feel fear. I think with Anatomy, especially, that was like the one song where I kind of really just put everything out there, especially because it was about my dad and he really didn't know that I had those feelings about him. So I think that was like a really scary moment. But after that, I feel like it's just been like, you know, whatever happens, happens. And this is how I feel. And I guess no one can really take away how I feel. So
totally. I mean, music is all about, it's just perspective, right?
Yeah.
It's your story, your perspective, put in your own words.
Totally.
And when you do put a song out about a person, though, do those people reach out to you? Like, what is that conversation like after it's out in the world and they hear it and they have some sort of feelings about it? Have some people just never reached out and you don't know what their side is? Or, you know, conversations with your dad? How does that go afterwards?
I mean, the conversation with my dad, he, of course, called me, and it was this full conversation. But I think with the album in particular, like, there are a lot of songs on there that are about certain people, and I don't think they know that it's about them. But most of the time, if, you know, obviously I never make fun of anyone or I'm never rude to anyone, unless they're like an ex-boyfriend. But but you know, like the songs about my friendship breakups, I always send it to them, which is interesting.
You do?
I do.
Do you send it before it's out?
Yes.
Okay. So do you give them like any sort of veto power, or are you just like, this is coming,
I just
heads
send
up?
it, no context.
Wow.
I know, it's kind of bold.
And do you get responses? Do you get ghosted after that?
Most of the time I get responses. I wouldn't send, obviously, like an ex-boyfriend a mean song about him. I'm like, let him figure that out himself.
Yes.
Don't want to talk to him. But with like my friends, yeah, I always send it to them because it's usually like I miss them, and that's what it's about.
Has the song ever led to any sort of like reconciliation with people?
No.
Do you ever?
I guess it's not that great then.
No. Is that your hope though, or your intention, or is it more just to kind of, you know, let out the feelings that the situation gave you?
No, for sure. I think it is obviously more just like, this is what the situation was, and I miss you, but you suck, kind of. So yeah, I feel like though it's nice to send it to someone and then be really understanding about it. Like those are really the only reactions I've gotten where it's been like, wow, I didn't know you felt like this. Like, let's talk about it.
Okay, so it's led to some sort of growth, which is great. You
Not
ever,
like friends, but yeah.
Yeah. Do you ever? I mean, I guess this would just depend on who you're sending it to. But do you ever think you would get a song back? Like,
yes, for sure.
Has there ever been a response song that you've put out that people don't know? Is a response to something else?
You know, I think it would be like the other way around. I think I would write the song first, and then like said ex-best friend would write a song afterwards.
Has that happened?
Possibly. I'm looking at Austin. I'm like, possibly.
She's like, maybe that's for you to find out.
Yeah. We'll see.
Interesting. Well, I do feel like we have kind of grown up with you. You know, we've seen so many iterations throughout your life, and this album specifically just, it shows so much growth. It feels so mature. It sounds so mature. To you, what would you say is like the biggest growth that you've had while writing this and now releasing this album?
I think, I've been making music for a really long time. I'm sure a lot of you remember Girl Party. Um, but I think with this album specifically, I really put my whole heart into this album. I grew up going into writing sessions when I was like 12 and 13, and I was so nervous to even say a word because it is hard being so young and being in the room with like super professional people and they know what they're doing, which they always know what they're doing, but I just feel like I have nothing to give. But I think now that doesn't really matter because I feel like, we can all collaborate, and I am the one that has to sing these songs and write these songs about my personal experiences. So I of course want it to be something that I really resent with and that I really love singing about, and I obviously want to be a part of the whole process. So I have put all of that aside and have just been like, whatever happens, happens, and I'm gonna be confident and yeah.
I do feel like songwriting too, even when you're working with like other people that have been in the business or people that have done things before, it's kind of like, like following a recipe, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's instructions, there's ingredients that that you need to bring to the table, but there's something about like your mom's homemade chocolate chip cookies that if you tried to follow her recipe, it might not be the same because you're not your mom.
Right.
You're not, that special something. And so like when you go into those writing rooms, you're not the writers. Like you're bringing a unique perspective, and you could be saying someone else's words or something that someone else contributed to, but you're bringing your perspective, your lived experience, and just the uniqueness of you to your music. And I feel like that's what you all resonate with and that I resonate with when you sing and when you put stuff out.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So
that means a lot.
On that note, I do want to hear some more music, and I know you guys all do as well. So let's get into the next song. You want to talk about that one a little bit?
Yeah. This one is called Bad For You. This is actually about one of my best friend's experiences that she went through, where she was dating this terrible, terrible guy, and we all wanted her to break up with him. But, I think for her it was fun at the time because he was sort of the bad boy, which I feel like we've all kind of gone through that as girls. We love the chase, so this is Bad For You. I'm on a mission. I'm gonna make an impulse decision. You made me listen and said I don't know what I'm missing. See it in your face. Said don't let this go to waste. Make a bad decision. Say I don't know what I'm missing. It's not that deep. No, you're bad for me, but I'm curious secretly. I want to feel something new. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. Nothing to lose. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. Big deal, but it's nothing. I just wanna feel adrenaline rushing. I just wanna feel something, something just for fun. Know you love the chase. Catch me, I'm not gonna stay. Don't know if I should, but safe doesn't feel as good. It's not that deep. No, you're bad for me, but I'm curious secretly. I want to feel something new. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. Nothing to lose. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. Feel something good. I don't know if I should, but I know that you would. Nothing to lose. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. It's a dumb thing to do, but all the best things are bad for you. Thank you.
So what was the reaction from your friend after the song came out?
She was dying.
She's like, yes, you're right.
She loved it.
So was she broken up after the song came out, or was she still in the relationship?
No, she was still. They weren't like dating. They were just like.
So were you just like, hey, we have to talk, and then you like play the song for her, and she's like, oh, this is how you feel?
I think she already knew because we were all like telling her that this was a bad idea. And she knew it was a bad idea. But I just sent her the song and was like, hey, wrote this about you today, smiley face. And she was like, oh my God, I love it.
Okay, that's
So,
great.
We're best friends. So it was like not
Are they
a
still
crazy
together?
thing. Absolutely not. He's gone.
Okay, so it worked.
It worked out.
It
Yeah,
worked.
Yes, it worked in my favor.
Snaps for that. I always wonder too, like, do you have that conversation with a friend, and then what happens if they receive it wrong? What if they're like, you know what?
Oh, totally.
I don't agree.
Yeah, no, that's happened to me before actually. But I think we were so close, and she wasn't actually dating this guy. They were just like hooking up, having fun. And I think she knew it too. That's why I was like, oh, it's fine that I can write a song about this, because she's fully like, hey, you're going to be so mad at me, but this is what happened. And I'm like, you're terrible. Like, this is horrible.
I mean, the song does kind of have like that cheeky energy to it a little bit, so I could see that. I want to get into the album a little bit.
Yeah.
I want to talk about that. The album is called Biting My Tongue, which I feel like is kind of the opposite of these songs.
Yes.
Tell me about the title and how you came to that.
Yeah, so I actually wrote the song Biting My Tongue 2 years ago. And that song was about how I couldn't be myself in front of my best friends, and how I felt like I was biting my tongue a lot of the time, and couldn't be myself. And so we were like, wow, this kind of sounds like it will well round the whole album, because all of these songs I have been biting my tongue about for a really long time. And so now I'm doing the opposite, like you said, and it is very vulnerable, but yeah, I think that's why we went with the title, because it is a play on words.
Do you have a favorite song on the album?
I think my favorite song is the next song we're about to sing, which is exciting.
Okay, well, do you want to get into that first, and then we can chat after?
Sure. Let's do it. This one is called Casualty. This one is the last song that I finished on the album, and I actually wrote it about my boyfriend. But at the time, I didn't think I was going to be with him, because I just got out of a really long relationship. He's actually here, so this is awkward that I'm talking about it in front of him. But yeah, I just didn't think that I could be in a long relationship again, because I was so hurt from my last one. So it doesn't talk about how I'm with him, so I'm sorry about that, Cole. This was a happy accident. I wasn't looking for it, but that's how it happens. Guess you could call it unfortunate. You could say I'm unlucky, feels the opposite. It's like we're a car crash waiting to happen, and we won't pull over. Like we're gonna both jump into the deep end with weight on our shoulders. We keep our eyes shut, 'cause if we didn't, we see the end, don't wanna admit it. To lose you, that would be a tragedy, and I'm scared that you'll be the casualty. This couldn't be worse timing, but the fact that we can't makes it exciting. That's why I've tried keeping my eyes shut, ignoring the obvious while we self-destruct and kill both of us. It's like we're a car crash waiting to happen, and we won't pull over. Like we're gonna both jump into the deep end with weight on our shoulders. We keep our eyes shut, 'cause if we didn't, we see the end, don't wanna admit it. To lose you, that would be a tragedy, and I'm scared that you'll be the casualty. Ha ha, ha ha. will be over and I couldn't fix it. To lose you, that would be a tragedy. And I'm scared that you'll be the casualty. Thank you.
I'm not gonna lie, I have chills right now. That's so pretty.
Thank you.
So pretty. Give it up for Kenzie, you guys.
Oh, thank you.
Those songs are gorgeous. I have a couple more questions for you, and I do want to know, since the music is so personal, you've kind of talked about, that courage that you have putting out songs like that. Is there someone in your life that gets to listen to all this first?
I would say my best friends and my sister and my boyfriend most of the time. So a lot of people. I play my music for a lot of people to get their reactions.
I was going to ask about your sister, because I feel like you and your sister, we've seen your relationship kind of grow over the years. I mean, I don't want to say we've been there from the start, but we've been there from those really early days, and it feels like it's really evolved, the relation that you have with her. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like you said, you guys have seen my relationship with my sister in every single way. When we were on the show together and we hated each other, we would slap each other. I always see clips of it and it's hilarious, but we really just spent so much time together. Spending 24/7 with your sister is a lot of time. And I think the second she moved out, I was like, oh, I actually miss my sister. Like, I really miss her. So we've become so close and we're best friends, and it's so nice having like a built-in best friend, and actually just being able to hang out as friends and not sisters arguing. So yeah, I love her very much, and we really do support each other with everything that we do.
I wonder, because with songs like Anatomy, that's your personal experience, but also she relates so closely to it as well. What was that like putting it out? And did she get to listen to that first?
Yeah, I actually played it for her on FaceTime, like right after we wrote it. And she had no words. She was sobbing, like she really couldn't speak. But she loved it so much. And I obviously wouldn't put it out if she didn't think so.
And she choreographed the video, didn't she?
Yeah, she did.
That's very, very sweet and very intimate, and a kind of a good way to like encapsulate, I feel like, all of the feelings in that song, because I feel like she has a part in that story as well.
For sure.
I want to know, when it comes to the dance background that you had and where you're at now with music, do you think coming from a dance background and that storytelling, and even just having your sister choreograph such a personal story, do you ever intertwine those two worlds? And do you think storytelling through dance has kind of shaped the way you can storytell through music?
1,000%. I think over time I have lost my love for dance early on, just from competing every single week and it just being a chore. It wasn't fun anymore. But recently I have been getting back into dance, and I think it's nicer to keep them separate. So it's kind of, for music, I enjoy it so much. But with dance, it's kind of more just a hobby at this point, which I really do enjoy. But recently I did a dance class where they danced to my song, which was really cool to be a part of.
That's so cool.
And I took the class as well.
I was gonna say, what is it like? Because when you're dancing, you're telling a story to someone else's story, essentially, right? You're telling a choreographer's story, and you're doing it to someone else's story in a song. But when you're on stage, when you're performing your own music, you're telling your own story. So what does it feel like, being on stage in front of other people, being vulnerable in this way? How is it different, and what does that feel like to you?
It actually took me a while to be comfortable up on stage. I think just this year I have found a love for performing. I was just so nervous because being on stage so young and then being worried that I was going to get shit on afterwards was super scary. So I think that kind of just correlated with just being on stage. But I think now I have so much fun and I just really enjoy singing my music, and obviously the reactions you guys are giving, especially you, it's so awesome. And watching everyone sing my songs is just so rewarding, and I feel good up here. So
well, I want to end it by asking you, what are you most excited for? What's coming up that you are most excited to do, to see, to have happen, to plan?
I can't say it yet, but expect some shows coming up soon. So that's all.
All right. Well, I'm going to open it up to, do we have time for questions? Is that okay? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do we have time? Yeah. All right. I'll open it up to a couple questions. Does anyone have any? Yeah? Okay.
Hi. Nice to meet you.
Cool. Thank you. So going back to your first song, I think that's a very sobering song, and for it to be more of like who I used to be. If you were to write that in the perspective of who you are now, what are the parts that you would think about in terms of the parts that you love about yourself?
Wow, that's a great question. I think right now I am the best version of myself all around. I think I am confident in myself and I'm confident in my friendships and I have so much love to give. And I think just overall happier. So I think if I did write it from the perspective that I am at now, I think I would just tell myself to just chill out. I think I was just constantly so stressed about what people thought of me, and I'm still a people pleaser, but I think I've been working on it. So I think, I guess some advice that I could give everyone is just to always think about yourself first. It's so cliche, but it is true that yourself is you should be your own best friend, and you should always worry about yourself first because that's most important. Thank you. Never. No, sometimes. I'm trying.
Want to do one more question?
Thank you.
Do we have one more? Yeah?
Hello. Hi, Kenzie. My name's
Hi.
Shannon. So my main question is, songwriters, obviously, they write a lot of different songs, and then it can only fit so much in one album. Is there any amount of songs that didn't make this album? If so, how many?
Yeah, so there actually are so many. I guess realistically, I have been working on this album for 4 years because the first song that I wrote was during quarantine on Zoom, and it was Not Around. That was the first song I wrote for this album. But I will say there are probably 50, 60, 70 songs that I don't know what I'm doing with, have not listened to them in 2 years, are just sitting. Sometimes I just go back and listen to them because I love them so much and like hopefully something happens with them. But it just wasn't right for the album. So I feel like there's always, if the song is strong enough, in my opinion, I'm sure it'll make its way somewhere. So.
Sounds like we have a lot to look forward to when it comes to you. Well, thank you guys so much. Give another round of applause for Kenzie, you guys.
Thank you so much.
That was incredible.